Kau dengar, kau dengar, kau dengar, kau dengar, kau dengar, dia dengar.
Well, to be honest, right, my main concern, because it was raining earlier in the day, was not falling, slipping and falling, because my concerns were completely physical. Like, you know, the last thing I need is to twist an ankle or break a knee or something like that in the jungle. So when we walked through the jungle, the forest path, and we crossed that bridge, crossing that bridge, I felt cold. Okay, and we were all wearing our, you know, sweatshirts, and yeah, it was creepy, lah. It was creepy, and then you know, there were cold spots where we were walking, even though it was, you know, a fairly warm night. And when Rahmat told us about the history of some of the spots where he was taking us, then I realized, oh, okay, well, it's very possible that, you know, there are entities here.
Okay, yeah. When people always hear a girl's crying. Okay, this place where they always hear girls crying. When some of the people they picnic, in that front there, they won't come to this area because they know.
So they won't cross the bridge.
They won't cross the bridge.
What happened here?
What happened here? Got raped and murdered here.
Wow.
The interesting thing I saw were the two white butterflies on the log. I think everyone saw that. We went closer, it didn't move, and you know, if you listen to what, you know, old people say, when you see white butterflies, especially in a forest, that means you're coming close to another realm, the Bunyan realm. And I thought, okay, this is interesting.
This is the portal where I told you we are inside the place now.
So what are they doing?
Some
right
of
now?
people missing here, but the road only there. When they came here, people cannot see you.
Oh.
You keep screaming, ask for help, but people cannot see you here.
If you're walking around in the forest, in the jungle at 3 a.m. in the morning, that creepiness will, you know, trigger a lot of imagination. I don't know if it was imagination, maybe it was really something there. But I heard someone say "tolong, tolong," and it's funny because I looked over at our camera guy, and he looked at me, and I said, "Did you hear that?" And he said, "Yeah."
Apa tu? Kau dengar, kau dengar, kau dengar, kau dengar, kau dengar, dia dengar, 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 semua dengar, semua senyap sekejap, semua senyap sekejap, turn off light. Ya, kamera infrared fokus dekat sana, bottom point, okay, bottom point, Weh, kuatlah bunyi dia menderik.
I was skeptical, I think. I think a lot of the times when they were telling us these stories, it seemed like they're just telling us so that it was like power of suggestion, trying to scare the Jesus out of us, you know? It just seemed like a lot of the stuff that they said just seemed unnatural and not possible. And I'm a skeptic through and through. I know for a fact that anything and everything can actually be explained with science. You know, no matter whatever it was, science could definitely explain it. You know? Okay. This area is called the Black Area, coined by the locals that stay here. As you can see, take a look at that. So I will be sitting here and seeing if anything happens while I'm here. Especially looking out for those EMF readings. Also got a night vision camera that's going to be placed with me, so if there's anything that happens, we'll see it first on that camera. Okay, they call it Uji Nali, right? Which is where I sit down in the hut all by myself. In front of me was one, I think, Facebook Live camera with one night vision camera. What they did was they put these sensors all around. These are motion sensors. You know, you go to 7-Eleven or whatever and it goes ding dong as you enter to tell you that someone's there so that, you know, you're aware, right? Now the thing is, when there's no one around you, and those sensors are there. Then you've got the candlelight, and you've got the EMF reading, and then you've got that infrared thermometer in your hand with a walkie-talkie. All you think of is, okay, I'm all alone. Everyone else is like way up there, like at least 150 meters away from me. If anything was to happen, would they be able to get to me, you know, fast enough?
Okay, camera rolling. Camera rolling, action, go, jom. Makan sensor hidup, Mat. Angkat balik, angkat balik.
Okay, walkie, EMF, what do you call this thing? Infrared thermometer, plus we've got some motion sensors and an infrared motion camera, so we'll see how everything goes. Okay,
See you.
let's do it. Thanks so much.
Bro. See you.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Remind me if I get lost, huh? At first I was like, okay, this is fine, no big deal, you know. Sat down for a little bit, then started doing the normal stuff that I wanted to just check, make sure. Looked out for readings, listened out to the voices in the forest. All I could hear was just crickets, pretty much. I think at one point, I sort of thought there was something. I didn't know if it was something, because the EMF reading just went up from like nothing to 3 and then 5 eventually, right?
On my right side, I'm getting very strong EMF readings, and it's dropped to 20.9.
Yeah. I also see a sound figure from here. Yeah. But camera can see, maybe you cannot see. The red eye always turn on. And then now I see there is some weird light. Whoa! Okay bro, I'll catch you later.
And the only EMF reading seemed to have come from where my leg was. And I'm like, but my phone's on like the side, so this is weird, right? So I then started to communicate with this, thinking, well, Rahmat taught me to do that. You know, he did it earlier when we were hunting. And at that point, I checked on the EMF reading, and I did what he did. You know, 5 lights for yes, 3 for no, and I asked him yes or no questions. Are you a man or a woman? 5 for male, 3 for women, for a woman, and you know it was 5. So I went, okay, it's a guy, you know. And then somewhere towards the 50th minute, I got another walkie-talkie response. Rahmat goes, Steve, can you go and tell the Facebook camera, everyone on Facebook, what you saw, because they can't hear you? I said, okay, sure. So now, as soon as I did that, I put down the walkie and I just stood up. This is when it happened. One of the sensors went, ding-dong. I haven't even moved to make the sensor. And I freaked. For 2 seconds, I looked around. It was the sensor that's right in front of me. I didn't pass that sensor yet. So why did it make that sound? There was no wind that night. It suddenly just dropped temperature. I checked with the infrared gun, the thermometer gun, and I noticed that the temperature went down from about 21 to about 20 at that point. And I went, this is interesting. I think at this point, although I felt a 50-50 here, where maybe there is some kind of explanation scientifically that can prove what happened, I think the thing that I was fearing the most could have been true, you know? That other 50% was telling me maybe what I experienced actually did happen. Maybe there is some paranormal entities that were around the area that caused that EMF reading to spike. And maybe, just maybe, they were really communicating.